Hey everyone, my name is Kat Aragon. I'm a professional makeup artist as well as LimeLife by Alcone beauty guide, and I'm excited to come and talk to you about our claim to frame brow pencils that are brand new that I hope you already have your hands on. So let's get right into it. As far as I'm concerned, Claim to Frame has the perfect name because it's all about framing your eyebrows. If you're not somebody who has ever framed your eyebrows or even had an invested interest in doing your eyebrows, listen up, because I'm telling you, they really do make a difference. And if you haven't been doing anything with your brows, it's probably because you feel intimidated, like there's so many steps that you're not understanding, or there's too many things that you've got to draw on and ingredients that you need to work with, and I'm gonna take all that intimidation away from you. As a pro makeup artist for the last 20 years, I do not do a step-by-step number brow. I literally troubleshoot brows. I've been saying that for years. I just troubleshoot brows where they need extra love and attention. So what I love about these products, and this particular product, is the fact that this does all the work for you. You really just need to assess your brows, which I'm gonna show you how to do in 1 second. But all you gotta do is take the spoolie that's already on the end of these pencils here. You're going to brush your hair up and out of the way. You're gonna identify where there's little patches, I guess I would say, where there's more like sparse hair there. There's more patches where you could use a little love, a little hair or two would make all the difference, right? And then pick the brow color that's most like your brows, and we'll go in with the darker one here. And then you look at that patch and you just draw in 1 hair, you draw in 2 hairs, maybe you draw in 3 hairs, and that's about it, right? And then you're gonna look around. You can brush down if you want. Okay, like I want this a little more linear instead of a divot that I have here. I'm gonna draw in like 1, 2, 3 hairs here. This movement of just having 1, 2, or 3 hairs in an area makes all the difference in the world. So if you're somebody who stayed away from brows for a while because you were too worried about what to do and you didn't know where to start, it really is about troubleshooting the brows and figuring out where to put this product. And it's super, super simple as I just made it look. Now, if you're somebody who does not have brows, or you work with customers who has gone through chemotherapy and they don't have a lot of brow hair to begin with, and you want to give them some guidelines of where to start their brow and where to end their brow, then I'm going to give you these guidelines. These are tried and true. It's all about symmetry, and this is really what you're looking for. You're looking for to put the pencil or a brush or something at the end of your nostril, right above your tear duct, like lined up with your tear duct, and right in here is where you're going to start your brow. And again, if your brow does not start there, do not worry about it. Like if your brow goes in more, you know what I think? I think it's absolutely uniquely beautiful. I don't think that you have to be so married to the idea that it starts right here. This is just a guideline. If you want to purposely go a little bit past that, you can. If you look at our campaign for LimeLife by Alcone, you'll notice that some of the models' brows definitely start naturally a little bit more in, and that's fine. The only suggestion I would have is to keep it here or probably right around here if you want to open up your face at all. If you feel like, like your features are a little more closed in, like you'd be so surprised at how plucking 1, 2, or 3 brows out of this middle area here would make a huge difference in opening up your entire look. So that is a guideline, but not something that you need to be married to. And then you're going to go ahead and take the outer corner of your nose to the outer corner of your eye, and right around there is where the tail end of your brow should end, right around there, right? Now, if you are creating the tail end of your brow, because I work with people all the time who don't have hair here, so they're actually drawing in hair in this area, like 1, 2, 3 short brow strokes that go with the natural growth pattern, right? Let's say they're doing that. A lot of times if they're creating that, they might accidentally start to go too low, right? Because they don't know exactly where to point that tail end if there's nothing to, like for the guideline. What I would suggest is to always err on going outward more than downward. Because think about it, you want something uplifted versus drooping, right? Now, if you actually have natural hair there like I do, follow the growth pattern. But if you're creating a brow, consider going out a little bit more for that tail end, out a little bit more versus too far down, because we don't want to close off the eyes. We want to keep everything open and bright and light, right? So that's another option. Then what you can do is if you go to the outer corner of your nose and then right over your pupil, right around this area is going to be the peak of your brow. I used to say the arch of your brow, But it's a little bit confusing these days because when I think of arches, I think of like the McDonald's golden arches, right? Like you're gonna have an arch underneath here. The cool thing about the looks these days is that there's a lot more linear and straighter looks. In fact, my girls, their natural brows go straight across like this, and their arch isn't necessarily underneath. Their arch is just the peak of where their eyebrow is. If you take a look at the ads that we have out right now, you'll have a nice full long arch. I'm sorry, a nice full long brow with the arch just kind of like right at the top here, okay? Doesn't have to be exact. I wanna say that if you look at those pictures too, that they're not exact, but that's the kind of guidelines if you're drawing in a brow or creating a brow from nothing or trying to build up a brow that's very sparse. This is just a good guideline to follow right there. One other thing that I wanna tell you too is to not only consider your eyebrows individually, like your left brow, your right brow, your unicorn brow, your donkey brow, whatever you call it, right? Your sister, you know, what do they say? Your sister, their sisters, not twins? No, yeah, their sisters, not twins. Well, some of us feel like our brows are like distant cousins versus twins or sisters, right? So what I want you to do is to also consider the plane of your brows. And an easy way to do this without having to draw anything out and stuff, just something really quick, is to take a brow pencil or a brush, relax, tap your forehead to relax it, make sure that it's not like doing this, because we like to do this when we're trying to work on our brows, but relax your eyebrows and then have this go straight across, like in a straight line from one bottom part of this brow to the bottom part of this brow. Mine, naturally, when I do this, I realize that mine starts way higher. This brow actually starts way higher than this one does. So for me to counterbalance that, I purposely draw in some extra hairs down here and allow that to be a little bit closer on a plane to where this naturally starts here. Same with the top. If I go to the top and I relax my forehead and I go to the top, I realize that this brow right here the top part of this brow right here starts a little bit higher than this brow does. And so what I do is I purposely go in and create more brow hairs up here. But now you see why that would be different. It would look very different if I only worried about symmetry on one brow and I didn't worry about like where they are in relation to each other. So now when my brows are not perfect by any means, in fact, now that I just tried to go a little straighter. So here's the other thing is that you can do, take a selfie, and what you'll see is that if you're doing one brow that's a little straighter and another one that's a little curved, just go back in and be like, okay, this one looks a little more curved, this one looks straighter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit more of a curved approach in drawing some extra hairs at the top here. But that gets you away from doing a step-by-step process on each brow because each brow is not the same, especially if you're anything like me and you've waxed them over time and you tweeze them and, you know, and I definitely don't have anything, you know, like permanently done here that's gonna help me with that. I actually, you know, I've got to build this in every single day. So it's one of those things that I have to, you know, get used to. And now I can go straight to the mirror and be like, okay, I'm adding more down here. I'm adding some up here. I'm a little bit too curved here. Let me go curve this. But if you look at a selfie, it's a lot easier. Don't smile on your selfie, just do it with a relaxed face and then it's easier to tell. But besides all that crazy advanced stuff that I just talked about, right? Talk about not intimidating. All you have to do is troubleshoot your brows. Go in with a brow pencil that is your brow color or one shade lighter to err on, you know, the safe side. I really suggest you get the Beauty Guide kit while it's out for this first week because you get all three and then you can play with this. But I would suggest at least go with your color that's one shade lighter than what you think you are or with the color that you know that you are and practice. You want to practice, not only do you want to practice kind of your brows in relationship to each other, but you want to practice your brow strokes, like your hair and going up, you know, like the natural growth pattern is usually up and then over. And then when you get over, you go to your arch and then it goes down a little bit. Like, I want you to practice that. So that way when you get to your face, it just feels so much easier. Even if you're just doing 1, 2, or 3 brows, you literally just kind of do this little flick movement in the direction of the hair growth. And I promise your brows are gonna look so much more pulled together and you're gonna realize that you didn't think you ever needed it, but it really does make a difference. And once you realize that, your customers are gonna notice, they're gonna ask what you did different, and then you can teach them the same thing. You can teach them that it only takes a few brow strokes for your entire look to be elevated. So that is what we have today. I'll be back in here another day talking about the different products that we have and how they work in conjunction with each other. But right now, get your hands on these pencils. They're amazing. They absolutely have kicked out all the other pencils that I had in my kit. I always say that I'm 97% LimeLife by Alcone in my red carpet celebrity makeup kit. Well, now we're 98%. We're getting there because we now have these, and these absolutely top every other brow product I ever had because they stay the same size, huge. I don't have to sharpen them. And on top of that, the spoolie is amazing because now I can go through here, not only pre-prepping my brows to get them filled in, but also going back afterwards and really blending in the work that I just did. Amazing, and I'm super excited. Oh, look, see, now you get so like excited about stuff that you're like, okay, let me go in and do this now. All right, so I'm super excited. I'm gonna sit here and play with my brows a little bit more now that I'm sitting here with 3 pencils in my hand. And let me know below if you have any questions. We will talk to you later. Bye.